Do you ever wish you could go back in time and talk to your younger self knowing the things you do now? While I don't have any regrets in my life, I certainly do feel that way sometimes because it would allow me to live a fuller and better life up to this point. I certainly live a great life and I'm so grateful for the things that are in it, but with some knowledge that I have now, I could have had an even better time. But before we jump into that, let me introduce myself to you if you don't already know who I am. I am Nathan. I'm 29 years old. It's crazy. I am almost out of my 20s, and it kind of came onto me in a realization as I was kind of thinking to myself about life as I do and the things that I could have done better. So I thought that I would take some time, make a cathartic video, mostly for myself, just talking to myself about just things I could have done better and things that I wish I knew, and that if I could go back in time, I would tell myself. So please let me know if you have anything that you would also go back in time and tell yourself if you could, and let's jump right into it. You need to please call your mom more often. I know that sometimes life is busy and it feels like you don't have the time to, but it's gonna make her day, and you love talking to your mom anyway. She's always been there for you and she is super supportive. In fact, you should also call your dad more often. I don't know why you don't. You always call your mom, but not your dad. Your dad has just equally been as important in your life and has always been there for you. So please call your mom, call your dad. You're not going to regret it. Who knows how much longer you're going to be able to call them for. I know that it seems like they're going to be around forever, but just remember the fact that they're not and how scary that feels. So please take advantage of it while you can. And never forget to call your mom. You need to stop wasting your time, energy, and money on girls who are not ready for the relationships that you want and need in your life. I know that you think that you can change their mind and you can convince them that you're good enough for them or whatever it is that you're thinking you need from them. You're just chasing that validation, and once you get it, you're going to realize that that's not really what you wanted or needed in your life, and it was all just a huge waste of time. At the time, you think you know that, and you can say that to yourself in your brain, but you can't really do it without a lot of pain and just effort on trying to move forward. You know what's best for you, but you still make the same mistake, and eventually you will mature out of that, fortunately. You're gonna drift away from your college and high school friends. I know right now it feels like you're gonna be super close to them forever and everybody's just always gonna want to talk to each other, but life gets pretty dang busy after college. You're gonna start working full time, you're not gonna get enough sleep ever, and you're gonna feel drained, and sometimes reaching out to them is gonna feel impossible, even though it's really not that hard. But just know that some connections are always going to be there, but you might not talk to them as often as you think you are. And don't let that make you sad, because those friends are still always going to be your buddies. You just might not have the time or the energy, ultimately, to talk to your friends all of the time. You're really never going to feel like an adult. I know you feel like by the time you're 30, you're going to feel super old and decrepit, but I promise you, you still feel like you're about 18 years old like you did a couple years ago. It's crazy how life has moved so quickly, but yet you still feel like yesterday you were just graduating high school and moving on to college, and that first fear of moving away from your family. It's insane how fast that time has gone by, and you would think by now you'd have everything figured out in your life, but I promise you, while you do have life figured out for the most part, you're still just that 20-year-old who really is just trying to figure it out as you go. You need to remember that you're not the main character in everybody's story, only in your own. And when I say that to you, I mean nobody really cares what it is that you're doing, so don't be afraid to go do what it is you truly want to do. Whether that be to start dancing because you see people doing it and it looks like a lot of fun, but you're afraid you're going to embarrass yourself, please just take a step outside of your comfort zone and learn that it's okay to fail, and that you're probably just going to learn from it and grow from it. Don't be afraid of failure. Nobody cares what it is that you're doing. They're not going to remember what you're doing because you're not the main character in their story. And that's just super important to know. Don't let stuff hold you back from doing the things that you want to do because you're afraid of how people are going to think of you. Because ultimately, they're not thinking about you. You need to take more time in considering what major it is you want to do in college. I know it feels like college is going to last forever and that hanging out with your friends and doing track and field is all that you want to do and it's what you think you're going to do past college, but it really isn't. College goes by in a flash, and once it's done, it's going to leave you feeling confused on what you actually want to do because what you thought you wanted to do is in fact not what you wanted to do. Priorities are going to change, and you need to take more seriously the choices that you make while you're in college so that in the future you have a career path that is a little bit easier for you to choose. You need to stop internalizing your thoughts so much and instead share them. I know it feels like your opinions really don't matter, and maybe they don't, at least not to everybody, but it is important that you share what you're thinking and let people know who it is you really are on the inside. I know that you're for some reason afraid to do that because you think that it's wrong or it'll make you seem weak, but no, it really doesn't. It's okay to show some vulnerability with people and to express how you're feeling, and maybe you could help somebody else through the process of sharing those feelings because you're not an idiot and you do know some things. So please just share what you're thinking with people. Everybody has something to contribute, and you need to remember that as you grow up. You need to remember that your priorities in life are going to change, and that is okay. I know right now it feels like you're going to be doing track and field forever, but I promise you, you're not. That is but a tiny drop in the bucket that is your life. It's going to fly by, and while it was a lot of fun, it ultimately doesn't really matter. I know it feels like your whole world right now, and that is the most important thing to you, but you need to remember that priorities are going to change and that is for the best. You're going to grow a lot when you choose to do different things that are going to push you to be more of an adult ultimately. So just remember your priorities are going to change, and that's just fine. You need to save up little money that you do make now and put it into retirement. I know that retirement seems super far away at this point in your life, and really it still does at 30, but the farther ahead that you can start saving for retirement, the better off you're going to be in the future. I know that it's hard to save money right now because, you're not really working full time, but whatever money you do earn, really try and put it towards your Roth IRA, and then don't touch it when you want to buy things. That's key. Don't touch that money. Please do not take it out of your IRA. Think about your future. Don't be so nearsighted. Hindsight is truly 2020, and this life that we live is truly a crazy thing, and I'm just happy to be here. Hopefully y'all could have taken anything away from this, and please put in the comments anything that you wish you could go back in time and tell an earlier version of yourself, no matter at what age. I hope that everybody was able to take something from this, and I know that I definitely had a lot of fun kind of looking back at my life and seeing the things that I can always improve on. And moving forward, all I can do is remember these things, and who knows, maybe when I'm 40, I'll make a video to my 30-year-old self. Now that would be something else. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope you'll have a super great rest of your evening, day, morning, whatever time it is where you're at, and I'll see you next time. Bye.